How to control the scarcity mindset. Hi, everyone. I am Apollonia Ponti. I'm your dating and relationship coach, founder of APOLLONIA'S.com. And I am your coach for you men to master your attraction skills, build the confidence overall for your personal and your relationship and love and dating lives. And we're going to talk about something so valuable when it comes to attraction in general. And that's the scarcity mindset, right? And I see that in the scarcity mindset, we're in a state of fear. And when we're in a state of fear, we lose control. And this is what I want to talk about in today's video of overcoming the scarcity mindset and why this ruins your relationships and how to control it. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to give you in regards to a tip is you have to understand, why is this happening to you, right? So what we do is we go into a level of thinking, I'm the victim, right? And why is this happening to me? And I'm the victim, and I'm going to lose this person, and I'm going to mess up, and I'm not enough. And we go into this state of thinking, but scarcity goes deeper than the surface. And we got to figure out the root and why, right? Because a lot of time, scarcity thinking comes up in order for us to turn to something else that we've ignored, right? So figuring out when you're there, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Like literally write it on a piece of paper and say, why are you thinking like this? I'm thinking like this because I'm scared to lose her. Why are you scared to lose her? Because I love her. Okay, you answer because I love her. Okay, but do you love yourself, right? Yes, I love myself. Okay, well then what makes you scared of losing her? What has happened in this relationship that you think that you're going to lose her? Has she showed up better? Has she showed up in this relationship for you? Does she want the same thing? Are we chasing a story? And you start analyzing why you're doing this. Because the scarcity mindset is influenced by fear. And when we get into fearful mindset thinking, we get into illusional thinking. We're not into reality. We get into the story of what I talk about, right? And so scarcity mindset is really, really important. So to understand that this comes up because of the rooted issue within you. There's also something else I want to mention here is finding your happiness internally and externally is going to help you with this, right? Because a lot of times we lean on other people and become dependent on someone else to validate our own existence, to validate our own happiness. And this is where relationships go so wrong. So many times people get into relationships because of the fact that they want someone to make them happy. But this is where toxic relationships happen. This is where things are horrible. This is where things are become manipulative. This is where things become, you lose yourself. Have you ever been in a relationship where you just felt like, oh my gosh, I just lost myself completely in that situation, in that relationship? Well, it's because we need to find internal and external happiness. And that's why I say all the time in my videos, it's really important for you to become okay with your own oneness. Once we become internally grateful and externally grateful, and we know who we are as a person, the world is our oyster. Let me tell you. We got women on lock. One of the biggest things is like women thrive. Women love men with abundance. Women love men that are just go-getters and that have that masculine presence, but understand that vulnerability can also be shared, right? Vulnerability takes strength, but vulnerability doesn't come from, I need to show vulnerability because it's an expense for someone or an expense for myself or added expense of someone else, right? If vulnerability is shared to be informative, right? With the willingness to walk away. Oh, you text your ex-boyfriend last night and we're together for 4 months. That's not the type of girl that I want to be with. I'm not too sure morally if we're on the same page. And that really hurt my feelings. And I was starting to fall in love with you. And this really took me back. And I'm completely hurt. That's vulnerability, to be informative. And now I got to reanalyze the situation. I need time and space. Now you valued yourself. Now you've put value within yourself and you've showed this woman that behavior is not okay. You're not like, okay, babe, why did you do this? And you get in that hamster wheel with her and start to enable the behavior and you forgive her right away. And you're just like, okay, fine. So you enable the behavior, and mentally sometimes people, not even women, humans, if we enable behavior subconsciously, we're telling someone it's okay. So we got to train people how we want to be treated, right? And so vulnerability doesn't happen in relationships. Closeness doesn't happen in relationships if there's no vulnerability, right? So One of the next things I want you to do is stop looking at things as the last resort, right? This woman is the only woman. I've never had a woman this beautiful before, Apollonia. She's so amazing. She's so this. She's so hot. She's so this. And I can't lose her. If I lose her, then I'm just don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Okay, that takes us back to tip one, our happiness is dependent on someone else. Scarcity mindset literally comes when our happiness is dependent on someone else or something else, right? We need that person to feel validated. We need that person to feel special. Now, there's a difference between being in a healthy relationship, as far as like example, my healthy relationship. I need my man. Like, I need him to bring me up. Like, sometimes, even during this video, I was so frustrated with one of my cameras. He's like, babe, you need positive energy to do your video. Like, I need him. He is my support. He is my crutch. But we've been together for years and years that we've blossomed into that, and I can depend on him for that, right? But I know, for example, my own happiness is such the foundation for our relationship. If I am not happy, it doesn't mean life can't get in the way and I can't be depressed or anything like that. But if I literally not abide by our relationship values, respect, trust, and all that, I know that it's probably not the best benefit for me, right? So that's the thing, is like, uh, my responsibility in order to abide by values is maintaining my own happiness. And this is to deliver my message for you guys, to do things that work in the world, right? And stop looking at things as last resort. Like, nothing is permanent in life. And when we can get comfortable with thinking like this, then and also thinking that everything is unknown. Maybe this relationship that you're head over heels with this woman, and it's really a bad relationship, and she's probably not showing up like you want her to, is also an opportunity for you to learn to get something greater in the future, right? We just can't see that. And that's why lessons happen in uncomfortable moments. Nothing is learned in comfortability. Everything is learned when we get uncomfortable. So that's really important, and stop thinking things in life are a last resort, because there's also an essence in understanding if I get good with myself, everything else will come to me. Understanding also, lastly, last tip is understanding that control of others is what destroys your life. Like, talking about healthy control. Let's talk about that first. Healthy control is, you know, what you put in your body, what your values are, what your boundaries are in relationships, what your standards are for yourself, and you living up to that. You can't say, I want trust in a relationship, and then you don't become a trustworthy man and you hide your phone everywhere and you just don't let the woman see anything. And there's something that she feels that you're hiding and you avoid it all the time, but then you want trust. You have to lead by an example. And also, too, when the example is not met, then this is when you question intentions and you really dissect if this is a relationship for you, right? So when we start to get in dependency, when we start to get in attachment, is when we try to control other people, when we try to control others. And if this is something that happens, this is a root of codependency. I would really encourage you to download my product. It's called Break Free of Codependency. And this is a outstanding product, one of my best products that I've helped so many men with in personal development and breaking through of their codependency, which is so critical to your dating life. When we can stop controlling an outcome, like, is she going to find someone ever better? Does she like another guy besides me? And being okay with being like, remembering who you are as a person. There is a reason why this woman liked you in the first place, and don't forget that. And let that be your engine for dating. Let that be your engine for life. The scarcity mindset is only meant to hold us back. And it's within everybody. It's fear. And it's about being comfortable with it, with being comfortable with life, and understanding that scarcity and fear is an illusion of what we create, because either we're thinking in the future or we're thinking in the past, and we're not in the present moment. When we're in the present moment, we can really find value in understanding what our standards are and what our boundaries are. If you don't know how to find your standards, boundaries, or anything, I really want to get better in relationships. This is even for you. My Break Free of Codependency product is something I want you to download right now. It'll be below in the description box. As always, I love hearing from you guys. I love your comments. Give this video a like if you love this video. And as always, I'll see you again in the next one. Remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.